The topics and opinions expressed in the following show are solely those of the host and their guests and not those of W4CY Radio, its employees, or affiliates. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4CY Radio or its employees or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4CY Radio.
Welcome to the Ask the Expert show on W4CY Radio and Talk4 TV, where we bring you educational information from top local experts in the fields of legal, health, financial, and home improvement. Now sit back and listen to experts in family law, association law, hearing loss, business brokers, home care, along with many other topics. Now here are your hosts, Steve-O and Sophia.
Good morning, Arizona. Welcome to another Ask the Experts. We have today in the second half of our show, we have one of the greatest doctors, MD, when it comes to weight loss, Dr. Gupta. He's out of Los Angeles. I'm telling you, one of the finest weight loss doctors. What he has put together will blow you away. If you need to lose weight, if you have a friend or a family member that needs to lose weight, have him come to our second half of our show today on www.w4cy.com. And it's gotten so good that we're also having people in other cities now asking us to add his show to their market, which we are going to be doing. But the first half, I want to talk to you. We have one opening left, and I'd like to talk to you about our show and how to become an expert on our show. We deal in the areas of legal, health, financial, and home improvement. If you have a business or a practice or a firm in that area, podcast is the hottest thing going. And I know for a fact because we had done radio for 9 years. We were on all the top radio stations across the country. And I've been seeing this trend go from radio to podcast for the last couple of years now. I actually wish we would have gotten involved with podcasts even sooner. One of the top podcast shows on radio was Michael Savage. Does a very big political show. It was always between him and Rush Limbaugh for number one. And the day, this was about 3 years ago, he said he's leaving 670 radio stations, which puts you at the top. And he was moving his show over to podcast. And I said to him, I said, this is crazy. You have this huge audience that you've built up from radio, and everybody has a radio in their car. How do you take such a successful show and move it to podcast? Well, I was the one that was wrong because his numbers are up 60%. As high as they were doing radio, his numbers are up 60% doing podcasts. So a year ago, and we did a lot of research, we found that W4CY is the top podcast company in the United States. And to make it even better and stronger, they also offer streaming TV. which you could be watching us right now, and radio. So they offered podcast, radio, and TV. And it's been just an amazing amount of success ever since we went with them. Their platforms are with Spotify, Facebook, YouTube, just many, many platforms. And like I said, I think they're the best in the United States. So what's also great about podcasts, it's less expensive to do. But a lot of people want to just go out and do their own podcast and not be affiliated with someone like W4CY. Here's the problem with that. How do you let people know that you exist? So there is a cost to promoting your podcast. And all of a sudden, those numbers start increasing on the cost to do business. Well, that's why I love W4CY so much, is because they promote the shows, they produce the shows, and it's just a real turnkey item. So we've been able to lower our rates and to reach much more people. Just to give you, our shows are 25 minutes long. If you've never done radio or TV, 25 minutes might seem like a lot. But I am telling you, everybody, and I mean everybody who becomes an expert on our show, the first thing they say after their first show is how fast it goes by. 25 minutes is nothing in radio or TV. You do a show once a month, so it doesn't take up a lot of your time. You can do you can do your show right from your office or your home. Your show is done off of a laptop. And that was another thing with radio. They had to come to the station. We don't have that problem here. So it's convenient. It's easy to do. And here's some of the areas that we deal in. We deal in health. And just to give you an idea of some great health areas, one of them is weight loss, which we're going to be doing on the next segment, which has become our number one show. Chiropractic care, anything having to do with pain management does extremely well with our show. Hearing loss, dental, especially in the area of dental implants, does extremely well with our show. So if you're a dentist, you would definitely want to get involved with their show. Remember, it's only 25 minutes a month. That's it. So we respect the fact that you've got patients or clients that are coming in that you need to take care of. Your show's only 25 minutes a month. We do have some people that do a show for the entire hour. It's actually 50 minutes. And even that goes by very fast. So health is one of our categories. Plastic surgery is another area. Anything involved with self-help, like weight loss, does extremely well on our show. Next category is legal. Legal is probably our number one area. The big areas in legal are personal injury law, criminal law, family law, bankruptcy law, real estate law, employment law, workers' comp law, tax relief, Tax relief is a very big show for us. These are areas that you can jump on, but we can do any area of health or legal. When we go into home improvement, our best categories are air condition repair, plumbing repair, roof repair. There's a category that's called property damage claims. It's an area relatively new, but these companies will come in and negotiate if you have any types of problems with the insurance company as to your homeowner's insurance. So somebody with a leak, the insurance company is going to offer you so much money. These companies can come in and get you usually a lot more money, and you pay them a percentage off how much more money they can get you. It's become a very big area. Property damage claims. That's for home care. And then we have financial. Again, tax relief is a big area. Wealth management is our number one category within the financial area. Financial repair, credit repair. These are all big, big categories. So you select the category that's best for your business. You come on our show. We conduct it like an interview, which makes it easy for you to discuss because you know your business. And can you imagine being able to talk and educate people for 25 minutes, which positions your company as an expert? And when you're positioned as an expert, you get all the referrals from it. And that's what people love about our show. Again, the show is called Ask the Experts. The rates are extremely low. And the reason why I know our rates are low is because we have so many people who will make a comment and say, I get all of that for that amount. And that shows us that we have low rates. We have discounts when you commit for a longer term. I think one of the greatest things about our show is you can go into iHeart's library, pull your show, or you can do the same thing with YouTube. Pull your show and attach it to your website. What is so great about that is it actually brings people to your website. And the more people you bring to your website, the more your website raises in the search engines. That is a very valuable tool. In fact, Google charges, with their Google Analytics, charges a lot of money to direct people to your website to move you up in the search engines. That's all part of our package. We actually take you by the hand and show you how to do everything. But I have to tell you, this is the easiest thing to do because you talk about your experience, the area that you deal with. If you're a dentist and you're going to talk about dental implants, I'm telling you, you can do this so easily. If you'd like to talk to us and schedule your own show, the phone number is 954-336-5638. 3767, 954 336 3767. And I'm telling you, it will be, and I'm going to tell you right now, it's not a lot of money. You'll be surprised about the rate, but we'll position your company as the expert in your field, and then you can enjoy all the referrals from it. I have been doing this for going on 11 years now. I have never seen any type of marketing tool work as well as the experts for such a low rate. And our experts love doing this. We're in 9 cities, and I'm going to tell you that our renewal rate, this blows everybody away. This means after you've gone from your first 3 to 6 months of being on our show, it's time to renew your contract. Our renewal rate is 95%. And I got to tell you, that small 5% that does not renew, well, sadly to say, we actually had a doctor who had been with us for 7 years doing an hour show in 3 different cities, passed away from COVID. That's how we lost them. We also lost some businesses, not due to anything they were doing with us, but they lost their business due to sicknesses. I'm not allowed to use the C word anymore. But we've lost some people and there was a lot of businesses that went under because of it. But to only have 5% that didn't renew, that shows you how strong Ask the Experts is. Our next guest for the second half of the show, Dr. Gupta, who is a weight loss doctor, probably one of the best weight loss doctors available. He started off with us in Los Angeles. He's now in 4 cities, and he does a show in each city once a month. So he does 4 shows a month with us. And we alone get so many letters and text messages from businesses that want to come on with us, and people who want to talk to our experts and they miss the phone number. If you're watching on our TV version right now and want to reach us, again, our phone number is 954 336 3767. My partner and I have several businesses besides Ask the Experts, and we have created a show for all of our businesses. We have a restaurant show in South Florida, and we moved over about 6 months ago, and the numbers have just gone way up from the amount of people who listen or watch our show. So again, if you have a business and you would like to become part of the show, give us a call at 954 336 3767. And I think I've just learned that Dr. Gupta is backstage. Folks, you do not want to miss this show. There are all types of weight loss products out there. This is the first long-term product excuse me, it's not a product, it's a way of life that I've ever seen. And if you'll sit back and listen to today's show on weight loss, it will change your whole mind being. And if you have a relative, anybody, tell them they need to turn the show on right now. We're going to take our mid-show break. And when we come back, we have the great Dr. Gupta.
K. Bender Rembaum is a full-service community association law firm dedicated to the representation of community associations throughout Florida. On kbrlegal.com, you can learn more about their offices in Pompano Beach, Palm Beach Gardens, Orlando, Tampa, as well as throughout Miami-Dade by appointment. Several K. Bender Rembaum attorneys are board-certified specialists in condominium and plan development law and assist clients with all matters of community association legal issues while keeping them up to date on new developments that affect their associations. K. Bender Rembaum is also a well-known provider of free legal education for managers and board members. Contact K. Bender Rembaum today by calling 800-974-0680. That's 800-974-0680 to reach any of their locations. You can also visit them online at kbrlegal.com or write to them at info@kbrlegal.com.
And we are back with the Ask the Expert show on W4CY Radio and Talk4 TV with your hosts, Steve-O, Sophia, and their expert guests.
And we are back, Arizona. I've been talking about this show actually for the past 25 minutes. This is a show that is even going to get me to change my ways of doing things. We're going to bring you the top expert in the field of weight loss. And this is by one of the top internal medicine doctors in the United States with Dr. Gupta. The name of his company is Mindful Weight Loss. Now, because we get so much email, I want to tell you, Dr. Gupta is not a chiropractor. He's not a DO. He's a top internal medicine specialist. He's helped with countless individuals around the world to achieve the sustainable, and that's the most important thing, is sustainable weight loss. Because if you've tried to lose weight, and you might have lost weight, but it almost always ends up coming back on you, and you gain back even more than you originally lost. So we are so blessed to have Dr. Gupta. And Dr. Gupta, good morning to you.
Good morning, Steve. How's it going?
You're wide awake.
Yeah.
And this is Arizona today, and you've just opened up an office here in Arizona. And I got to tell you, we are so excited about your practice. And one of the things I've never really done, Dr. Gupta, is endorse a product. Because if you endorse a product, then we've got 90 experts, and you endorse one product, they all want you to endorse their product.
Sure.
And we just can't do that. But I got to tell people, with Mindful Weight Loss, I totally endorse Mindful Weight Loss, something we just don't ever do.
That's really sweet.
And the fact, Dr. Gupta, that you've added a pediatrician, an emergency room pediatrician.
Yeah, he's a critical care doctor. Yeah, so
you're a genius.
Yeah.
You're a genius, Dr. Gupta. So let's tell people about your practice, how you started, and about mindful weight loss.
Sure. So we're a practice that initially started here in Redondo Beach, California, but as you said, we're expanding to Nevada, Arizona. We can see patients in those states, in addition to a lot of other states. We're having physical offices in Nevada and Arizona. Otherwise, we're seeing patients over Zoom everywhere else. But what I describe, what we do is a combination of evidence-based medicine with a comprehensive and holistic approach to create truly sustainable weight change. And as you mentioned, we're bringing on my friend and my partner, Dr. Mishra, who is a pediatric ICU doctor, specifically targeting patients between the ages of 12 and 17. So this is really close to me. As I mentioned in many of our shows in the past, I struggled with weight through various points in my life, including when I was a kid. And I just feel if you can help a kid during that really vital stage of their lives, you can change the course of their entire lives. So I'm really excited about that. But in general, we're going to bring the same principles we apply to everybody, right? Which is really starting from that self-compassionate approach, really starting where someone is. And only then can we come up with interventions that actually work.
I think, and I hope you don't mind me
of course.
Relaying this, because I had the same problem. You had problems with weight loss growing up.
Yes.
And you became one of the top internal medicine doctors in the United States. And here you have moved your practice into weight loss.
Sure.
And so this is really dear to your heart.
Yeah.
Based on how you grew up.
Yeah, exactly. And I've struggled with weight at other times in my life. But the main thing is I just happened to discover this group of people, the Obesity Medicine Association. I went to a conference and I realized, for the first time that there's an actual way to treat people struggling with weight, right? Because in medicine, it's usually you go to your doctor and your doctor says, oh, you got to lose weight. And everyone's like, okay, what do I do now? Right? Like if it was so easy, then everyone would have done it. Right? Instead, 70% of us actually struggle with this issue. But this field of medicine, right, kind of takes off from that point. It's like, no, it's not like, oh, you go lose weight. It's we can figure out ways to help with this truly biological issue, right? Again, if 7 out of 10 humans struggle with something, it means it's not something that has to do with an individual factor, willpower, discipline, or an individual way of life, right? It has to do with the fact that our biology, right? The fact that this food environment is not made for our biology. Instead, every second of the day, all these companies are spending trillions of dollars figuring out, trying to how to get calories within our bodies, right? And that's leading to this essential problem. So there are ways that we can do it, but we got to start from that approach and really understand the problem as it is.
Yeah, Dr. Gupta, you look at long term, and I got to tell you that a lot of the letters we're getting now are people that did lose some weight on whatever they did, a lot of different avenues people took, but most of all of them end up gaining it all back. And if they lost 5 pounds, they gain 8 back.
Yeah.
What causes that?
So this is one of the key issues in that our bodies, what it is that we evolved for hundreds of thousands of years in a caloric restricted environment, right? So the ones who survive the best, the humans who survive the best, are the ones who are able to go out into the world, get calories, and store them on our bodies forever. And so we've proven this in multiple studies now. What happens is when we lose weight, we actually get hungrier. Our hunger hormones are increased, right? We get less full. We also, most importantly, our metabolism decreases. So it's completely unfair, right? So when you lose weight, you got to eat like several hundred calories less than someone who never even gained weight just to maintain. And it just speaks to the difficulty of this issue and why that like principle you just said happens, right? You're starting to like eat a little bit and then it started to plateau, it stops working. And then eventually you eat a little bit more and you start gaining and you go, screw it, I'm just done with this.
And what happens? They give up.
Exactly.
And look for the next magic pill or whatever you want to call it. Let's talk about when a potential patient contacts you and wants to get started with you. What's the first thing you do?
Sure. So you just either go to our website or text 310-220-4543. We make an appointment with either myself, Dr. Mishra, one of our nurse practitioners, and we talk to you for an hour, right? And I think that's like a very different approach in that we kind of, we ask about everything in a person's life, right? What time do they get up? How long is their commute? What do they eat before? What do they eat during, if anything? At work, what are challenges of work? Do you like your job? You come home, what's the relationship with your partner? Are you eating, with your partner after dinner? Who's instigating that? Everything, right? And I think that's really important because, as we've talked about in prior shows, often what happens is you go somewhere and they tell you exactly what to do after talking to you for 5 minutes, right? And that will never work. You have to know like the intricacies of a person's life before you can come up with ways to really intervene. And the important thing is, and what I tell all my patients is you got to look at everything with a lot of self-compassion, empathy, because not only does that decrease our suffering, that literally helps us figure out what's going on. And that's the only way we could come up with true interventions. So a specific example is like, sometimes people say in the morning, oh, I can't work out. Oh, I just need to get out. I'm being lazy. I need to try harder. Then ask them, okay, what's going on in the morning? And then they say, okay, like I have to get up. I have to get my 2 kids ready. I have to like answer a billion emails. It's like, there's no way. You have so much mental load there, right? Even if you might have like 20 minutes, it's not like that's not just how our brain works, right? So it's like, you got to take all of that into account. Otherwise, whatever you do, whatever you work on will not work.
You as an internal medicine doc, you see a lot of hard patients.
Sure.
And when you see a new patient, and if people think about this, when you go to, especially you're an internist, the first thing they do is they sit down with you and do what's called a history and physical.
Yes.
Because how do they treat you without going over this information? So it's the same thing in weight loss.
Yeah.
You walk into GNC, all you got to do is weight loss. Oh God, we got. But
like
what Dr. Gupta is saying is, he actually sits down with you, and even if you're in another city with telemedicine now, he's got this 1 hour. And knowing Dr. Gupta is probably longer than that, but this is how he determines. Because think about it logically, there's no such thing as one pill fits all.
Yes, 100%.
And you get into this mentally too, which is so important that no one does that.
That's the most important part. Mindful. Yeah, I mean, that's the most important part, right? Because you got to see like what's going on in people's lives. So I use this red bun analogy, okay? So the problem with the world, so we have all these ultra processed foods, and every time you press, like after you eat it, you get like a dopamine hit, right? You eat a bag of Doritos, it feels good. It feels good to eat a bag of Doritos. So I say all of these foods are just like these red buns. And the problem that we have is that we've created a world full of red buns. So how do you deal with it? So we practice not having as many red buns around us. We have healthy blue buns as well, but we have to work on decreasing our suffering so we're less incentivized to press the red bun in the first place, right? So we got to do all of those things. But that suffering part is so important because we do things for a reason, we don't do things for a reason, right? And often the reason we're doing all that other stuff is anxiety or depression or stress or boredom or whatever, like lack of organization, or just there's like a million reasons, right? But we have to go into all of those little like nooks and crannies of our reasons and trying to figure out ways to deal with it.
I like the fact that you don't put pressure on people.
Yes.
That you change the mindset, first of all.
Yeah.
That is so important, because at least, you know what, when you go in with Dr. Gupta, you feel like you've got a chance to succeed.
Yeah.
Versus I guess the dirty word for Dr. Gupta is diet. He hates that word. And, you know, just the fact that you've taken that pressure off with the word diet alone means, hey, I got a chance to make this work.
Yeah, I never say try harder, right? We never talk about that. This isn't about coming in and say you need to try harder. I never say that to any patients. And I'm like,
no pain, no gain.
Yeah,
it's not on your walls.
No, not on my walls at all. 100%.
I love the idea that you are a medical physician. Do you do any blood work at all?
Yes, of course. We run the standard panel on everybody, including like hemoglobin A1C, lipids, chemistry panels, you know, that measure like your kidney levels, your liver levels. We do all of it.
I had someone ask the other day about hormones, wanting to know, do you do blood work or saliva?
We do blood work. We are going to start a hormone replacement part of our business starting October 1st. And I'm bringing in a very special urogynecologist. Like, she's very good and an expert in practice evidence-based medicine in this field. So that will be part of our future treatment options.
Well, this is going to be like almost like an anti-aging clinic.
Yeah, but that's, I mean,
if you think about weight loss and hormones, and I think what's also so great about what you're doing, Dr. Gupta, is you've got a whole bag of, I guess, tools to work with. You're not just dedicated to hydroxycut.
Yeah.
But I mean, you have, and I got to tell you, bringing on your friend, Dr. Misra, is genius. Because gosh, if you could get these kids to start off at an early age.
Yes.
100%. Because we've talked about this before. I've got really bad kidneys. And what caused it was I had very high blood pressure, but I didn't know I had high blood pressure. And it went for years. In the meantime, it was damaging my kidneys. If I'd have gone to a doctor like you, we would have discovered that early, and I wouldn't be in the position I'm in now.
Yeah. I mean, it's sad. I mean, a lot of this stuff has come out more recently, but I mean, like, I always say, like, this is the most gratifying work I've ever done. And to get people, you know, BMIs like over 45 and get them below 30, right? It's just like, that's taking 30 years of disease from things like hypertension or diabetes and all of that, right? And it's amazing. Like, the fact that you can kind of, you know, when you're talking about anti-aging and so, that's like, you can't help somebody more than that, right? It's absolutely amazing.
Exactly. But you know what? The weight is probably the most important thing, Dr. Gupta.
Yes.
I mean, you know, it leads to diabetes. It leads to so many heart problems, high blood pressure.
Yeah.
And what you're doing is not getting people to lose weight. It's saving lives. That's about the best way to put it. You will be saving so many lives, which I'm sure you realize it, but that's really what you're going to be doing.
It's amazing. I mean, I feel grateful to be doing this work, right? It's amazing.
Unbelievable. I would pinch myself every morning.
Yeah.
And, you're growing your practice, and you're doing it the right way. And you are going to be, I would say within the year, you're going to be probably the most well-known doctor when it comes to weight loss. And that's going to bring people in from everywhere. I mean, it's like, I'm so excited for you.
Yeah.
I'm excited to be part of this. And this show we've had people been with us for 7, 8, 9, 10 years. Some of them even do an hour show. This show will be, by, I would say, October, November, our #1 show in the United States. That's how important it is. And the way you explain it, Dr. Gupta, you have a gift.
Thank you.
And it's so important. I mean, promise you, this is not a butter up session. I'm saying that the way you explain it makes so much sense. You don't talk over our heads. And what you're doing by bringing in a child specialist, I mean, it's amazing what you're doing. And I am so happy for you. Let's tell people now that they're coming in to see you, what's the next step? You've done this hour of physical and history and physical. Now what's the next step?
Then we actually have a unlimited health coach sessions throughout the month also for tons of support. And then you see either myself or my NP or Dr. Mishra every month on top of that. But we also have a number where you contact, and you could just contact us for anything. To make the initial appointment, you just call 310-220-4543. Again, 310-220-4543. You go to mindfulweightloss.com as well. And just to follow up on that point you made, I think it's really important to talk to people in a way that people can actually understand, right? That's very, very key, because too often so much of everything is just, really like talking down to people or insulting or all that stuff, right? But that doesn't help anybody. So it's just really important, I think, to say things in a way that can actually be understood by everybody.
I think also one of the important things you do is you have a support group.
Yeah.
And, I think there's things that people can do to tweak what they're doing. Let me just give you an example.
100%.
Let's just take potato chips.
Yeah.
If it's in your pantry, your mind knows that it's there.
Yeah. 100%.
You can tell yourself all day long, you should not eat that, but it's in that pantry.
Yes.
Now, what if it wasn't in the pantry?
Perfect.
There's some things that you can do that you need. The support group that you offer is so important.
Yeah, 100%. And I like to, that's why it's so key to understand what's truly going on, because too often people think like it's there and I'm eating it, or I'm fighting with this craving and this something about myself. Rather, I want people, I have our patients think that this is the biological circuit, right? Those potato chips are there. It's triggering that dopamine receptor in the brain. No matter what you do, that's going to happen, right? So the goal, as you said, right, is to practice not having it there, right? That's like the key thing. And it's just like, we work on those. That's just one example of the thousands of things we can do to actually make this easier in the moment. This isn't about making this harder. This is about working smarter, not harder.
What about the physical end, the working out end? What are your beliefs there, Dr. Gupta?
So, we don't stress physical activity at the beginning, right? But we start where someone is. That's like the most key point. It's unrealistic if someone hasn't been working out very much, say, oh, now you got to work out like 30 minutes a day and all that. It doesn't make any sense. No one's going to do it. So we really got to start where someone is. And, we really start, when we do start, the focus is more on resistance training, lifting weights and everything, because the only thing in the world that increases our metabolism right now is increase in muscle mass. So that's like how we start with physical activity. But again, with everything, and especially with physical activity, it's just starting where someone is the most important thing, and not making them feel bad about anything, because it's just not going to work.
Well, I kind of saved this for last. I haven't even told Dr. Gupta this. I have a friend who I've known for years in Orange County. She is 70 years old. She looks like she's 40. She researches everything out there, everything, when it comes to anti-aging.
Sure.
And appearance. Appearance is very important. She lives in Newport Beach.
Sure.
And I told her about Dr. Gupta because, she's going to become a patient of yours.
Awesome.
Do you know that she already knew about you? She knew about mindful weight loss. She knew about Dr. Gupta. She said she's had friends of hers who've actually come to you.
That's awesome.
Now, this lady travels a lot. She owns a very big company.
Sure.
But she has promised me, because I care about her health. But here's a lady who does so much research, who knows of your reputation, Dr. Gupta. And for her to tell me that she's going to make an appointment to come see you means everything. And I'm going to hold her to it because I want her to be around for a long time. But this lady does so much research on everything she does. And I don't know why I was blown away, but I know Dr. Gupta is. That's pretty amazing because this lady has traveled to Paris. She's gone all over the world. And you're not in her backyard, but you're close enough.
Yeah.
You're close enough.
Orange County's right there.
But that's amazing, though.
Yeah.
How your name is getting around already out there.
If anyone message you and they we can just contact them. So just pass on the information. We can contact them.
Well, I can't wait to see her progress with you.
Yeah.
Very, very amazing. Let's tell people how they can get a hold of you.
Sure. So it's 310-220-4543. Again, 310-220-4543. You could just text it and we'll help you right away. Or you can go to the website, mindfulweightloss.com. And
you're also going to be giving away
And so we have, for all of, Steve and everyone's every listeners, we have $100 off per month for the first 3 months. So it's an amazing promotion and really excited about it.
Mindful weight loss, Dr. Gupta. And I think you're on with us again tomorrow, I think. Yeah. I have to look at my schedule. But thanks for filling in here for Arizona. We'll see you. I think it's tomorrow. We're already promoting it already.
Yeah.
I got Dr. Gupta
tomorrow, Los Angeles.
That's it. We're doing Los Angeles tomorrow. Thank you, Dr. Gupta.
Awesome, Steve. Well, it's been awesome, as always. Talk to you soon.
Take care. Dr. Gupta, we are so lucky to have him. I've learned, because I'm overweight, and I'm going through all these health issues now, that if I hadn't been overweight, I wouldn't be having these health issues now. And we want to save lives out there with this show. That's going to be it for us today. If you're in the Los Angeles area, we'll be on tomorrow at 2:00 on W4CY. Everybody have a wonderful day. Thanks for joining us. God bless.
Thanks for tuning in today to the Ask the Expert show on W4CY Radio and Talk4 TV. Tune in next week and every week to hear more from our experts on personal injury, insurance, air condition repairs, estate planning, Medicare, and many other topics in the areas of legal, health, financial, and home improvement. See you next week.